So how do we make use of the resources in a better way? So that is the main important thing. Maybe starting from the I mean, table creation, inserting the data, deletion, updating, or while performing the transactions. There are certain possibilities, okay, where you can handle, okay, where you can handle any kind of optimization technique. Okay, so with the simple notations, we can have various kinds of the advantages. So in the earlier session, we have seen some of the aspects, like how we can use the operations like union, all those kind of thing. And there are some other usages in, not in, and as well as the join kind of thing. So today also I'll give you some kind of the cases where with the help of those kind of the cases, we can start working on referential integrities. We'll see the aggregate functions, and we'll see how to utilize the memory in a better way. All these kind of the things are there related to today's discussion. Okay, so let me give the objectives of the session as usual. Our a normal flow. So first we'll see which are all the things we are going to talk in the today's session. So where these particular things are help us so as to improvise our code in a better way. So the very first important thing is uh, better practices or best practices. So just yesterday also we have seen some kind of the aspects, but in today's session also we'll see, because friends here, best practices is not a individual topic actually, because while using the joins I can use the best practices, while using the aggregate functions I can use the best practices, while using the triggers, stored procedures, functions, cursors, all these kind of things you can implement the best practices. So what I will do is the general procedure followed by the industry, so as to implement or so as to achieve these kind of the best practices. Those things we'll see. And as a second aspect, so most important understanding required is referential integrity or reference tables, or sometimes this is also known as a referential integrity. So which is most commonly used to term and terminology in the team meets and all. And thereafter we'll take some example of the aggregate functions. Okay, a few aggregate functions we'll see, and thereafter, so just you can refer 1 minute. So yeah, optimizations in table space usage. So this is the most helpful construct, friends. Okay, so whenever we are using bulk data, whenever you are working with the huge amounts of the data, and usage of the space in a efficient way, in the optimized way, is always required. So with respect to these kind of the conventions, just you can observe various possibilities where we are going to talk related to the optimizations in the table space. Now coming to the first topic, however, if you are referencing the initial things, uh, the very first topic is, so just if you are considering, you may be wondering, oh, these things can be considered as a best practices. Okay, of course, the best practices. The major important thing, friends, here, while working with the project, you are not the individual member. You work as a team. Okay, you work as a team, and if you are working as a team, so obviously whatever the coding you are implementing, that should be floated to all the members across the team. All the members should able to get what you are trying to say and what you are trying to achieve. So in that particular scenario, friends, your code should have some standard actually. Your code should have some kind of the standard. Standard, I mean to say, just we are having some kind of the constructs here. So the very first thing is meaningful names to the attributes and tables. Okay. So what do you mean by this kind of the convention? Let me ask you this thing. Suppose we are working on a project. So this particular project is for assume that Uber. Okay. Now I want to get the information like in yesterday. Okay. Rights. Okay. What is the total count in Bangalore city? That means this particular total count is nothing but friends. This is the query we want to implement. So in that particular case, so just that Uber rides is the table name. So what we need to do is we have to identify um, the appropriate ride ID, okay, and customer ID from and to. And basically from to are the source and destination. Again, we need to have the city information also. Okay, so but our intention here is just we need to specify the corresponding table name like this, because everyone in the team should understand that okay, this is the ride ID and customer ID. But of course, these two are important. But apart from that, from and as well as the two. So maybe I can say from Ashwantpur to Karpuram, assume that, or maybe some kind of um, Banashankari to some Majestic, like that, some kind of thing there. But however, the city must be Bangalore only. Okay, so ride ID 1 to customer ID, customer 1 to customer 2, 3, like that may be there. But rather than giving the suitable names, because friends here the point is if you are giving the suitable names, it is easy to uh, work or profiling that particular data. And as usual, you may be picking up the appropriate information from the existing table. And moreover, one simple point is your code should be uh, understood by humans, not by computers. Okay, so this is the main important point we have to consider, because see, at the time you are implementing some kind of the code should be readable, friends. What I am trying to say is your code should be readable. Okay, suppose if you are working with SQL workbench, so just let me show you that particular thing. So MySQL workbench, where you can portrait, okay, whatever the code you are implementing, that particular code can be identified in a nice and readable format. So yeah, this workbench is there. So you see here, there are certain tools. So if you observe this particular MySQL workbench, automatically I can easily format. So just you can see here the button beautify or reformat the SQL script. Okay, so just if you are clicking on this, just automatically it is arranging all the names. Okay, highlighting points and where you can see, and whatever the functions and whatever the constructs you are using, automatically it is going to maintain the formatting options. Okay, so rather if I'm plainly typing the queries like this, if I'm not using any kind of formatting, just I'm keep on writing some kind of the code, so no one is going to understand that. So of course, after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, by seeing that particular thing and by taking the help of the developer, okay, one can conclude that. But whereas if you see the way how we are formatting, so here he can easily say, oh, how many statements are there and what exactly the appropriate logic and which table we are getting the information and what is the condition. Okay, is there any order by or group by is there? So likewise, there is a chance of, okay, understanding the code in the simplest way. And moreover, this is a standard, friends, actually. You know, one important point, even industry is using some set of the tools so as to format the SQL and the kind of the constructs. Okay, so just you observe this particular point where you can refer, okay, whatever the coding or whatever the design we are doing. And obviously that code should be floated within the team. And one more important thing is the members, okay, who are all present in our team, and they should get the code. They should get what exactly the knowledge we are having, what we are going to implement, and it starts from the understanding of the attributes actually. Rather, if you are giving Harish is creating some table, and he may be naming the table as Harish, and he may be giving that attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, attribute 4, and no one is aware of what attribute 1, A2, A3, A4, never. But whereas if he's working on some kind of the project data, as earlier we have seen some USA and UK data kind of thing, if he is giving the names meaningful, okay, the people who are working in USA project, employee USA, and who are working on UK project, employee UK. Okay, like that, if he is giving, oh, anyone can easily get that, oh, this guy is working on some sort of USA and UK kind of the project details. And second important thing is the naming of the attributes. So attribute naming convention is also very important, friends. Once you select the appropriate table information, it is always important to give some names to the attributes also. Like, you know, employee ID and as well as the department he is working, first name, last name. Yesterday's session we have seen. So just hold on so that I can show you the appropriate thing. So again, I should log in here. 1 minute, guys. So the point here is, friends, standard means not using the high level tools or high level utilities. Standard means you are making use of the convention. Okay, so whatever the data I'm having, so whatever the coding I need to implement, definitely that particular code should be in a understandable way. So the meaningful name giving, okay. So even I will give some kind of the assignment today. So maybe if you are talking about the creation of a table, let me see how many of you are going to handle that efficiently. Okay, so just let me take this username and I'm giving the password. Okay, so Control L, which is to clear the screen. And initially, friends, my suggestion would be rather than dependent on the graphical user interface, in the beginning of your learning and as well as practice, I strongly recommend you to use the command line interface. Okay, even I also prefer that because with the command line interface, yesterday also we have discussed this thing. In the command line interface, there are chances of getting more errors. Okay, I'm giving you some kind of complexity. Definitely, we have to learn in the hard way, friends. Okay, learning is very simple. Then you won't get any advantage of that. Your learning and your preparation should be very hard. So if you see, maybe you are aware of okay, while preparing the JE or some kind of sets of the appropriate states to get into engineering and all those kind of the courses, you see the people, and you also, you can remember those days. So to enter into your engineering or any graduation or post graduation, there are some certain entrance examination. You won't take those things light. So just you sit and prepare and you perform whatever the activities you want. Okay. So now here, as already said, we are using this remote uh, okay. So we are using this remote service. Definitely we have to use some kind of the database, and using this Indium Lab one as a purpose. And yesterday we have created some kind of the tables. So just we are making use of these kind of the convention. Okay. Now just you for the sake of understanding, let me describe uh, employee UK. Okay. So here employee ID, first name, last name, gender and department. Though the member is new to our project, you should give the name in such a way that that name should be suitable, and that should be significant. Okay. So rather than giving employee ID, if I'm giving some kind of any SNO or social security number, okay, which is not making any sense here, because employee data should contain employee ID, designation, such kind of attributes. And similarly, let me give you the another thing. I'm having one more thing like tasks. Uh, See here, just I am giving you the task name and as well as the complete. Okay, so whether the task has been complete or not. So I want to manage all 12 members data within the project. So the task name is maybe some assignment, or maybe some kind of the seminar, or maybe preparation of the presentation, whatever. So, and after taking that particular task name, whether the task is completed or not. Even one member is not completed, then definitely I have to specify that, okay, this task is not done. Okay, so you can see here, friends. So complete only, we have taken only one character, yes or no kind of thing. Okay, but task name, up to 255 characters I can enter. And similarly, if you see the person, so just I am making use of this person, first name and last name. And I'm having one more table. Maybe periodically I'm using that sales information. So just you see here. So the purchase number, date of purchase, customer ID, item code. So what I'm trying to say is here, guys, if I am asking you to prepare a database table, and of course, you may get the chance rarely, because already database design is done by the members who are all database designers and all those kind of things. That's okay, but you should also aware of that. Maybe at times, while working on simple project, or while working on some our internal projects also would be there sometimes for the clients. So in that particular case, maybe some small team. Okay, so maybe asked to work on the implementation of that particular project, and always ready to take the challenges, friends, because you don't know how much potentiality you are having. Okay, so once you accept that particular challenge, definitely it opens the avenues to learn the kind of things. Okay, and if you are keep on escaping, or keep on, oh, I cannot do this, I don't have any experience. Experience comes whenever you accept the things. No one is going to give you the experience. You have to feel that. You should get the information, and you should be proactive. And our Indian motto, and what exactly our mission of India: go and get what you require. So because the statement itself is saying that if you need any help, or if you want to implement anything, you should be very proactive. Okay, so that proactiveness definitely give you the high caliber in the team, and not for others, friends. Actually, it is giving some kind of the confidence on you, because we are always talking about efficiency, confidence, all those kind of aspects. If you are okay to accept the challenges, or if you are very proactive to take the challenges, you are you are in a proper mood, friends, actually. And some of the members they don't want to take the risks. They want to play the the safe game. So in that particular case, safe game won't give any advantage to us, friends. Okay, it won't harm us. At the same time, it won't give any advantage. Okay, because at the moment you are trying to take up the challenge, and if you are learning, of course we'll do mistakes. That's required. And according to Einstein, so if you are getting mistakes while performing anything, it shows that you are trying something. And if a person who is not getting any mistakes, he won't try any new thing. So because those guys and the proved ones already given the platform to us, and we have to make use of that particular platform, and we should showcase our talents, and we have to take up these kind of the new challenges. Okay, right. Now what I am doing here is as a initial task. So because we are always talking about the implementation perspective, what I will do is just let me pull some kind of the task here. So this particular task is, guys, uh, let me type here so that I can easily uh, handle. So create a table that describes yourself. Describes yourself meaning that I mean to say um, the expectation is you need to specify some kind of the primary key here. Let me see how many of your give meaningful data. Maybe you can show me tomorrow also, no problem. We can take your time, no issue. So I will ask you to share your screen, and you need to explain any kind of interface. Okay, so any kind of interface you can use, and expectation is primary key, and as well as some kind of the check constraint I need. Some not null I want to observe from your table. This is one thing, and another important thing is establishing of the foreign key. There should be some meaningful data, friends. Okay, and your information based on this particular requirement. Okay, so maybe you can specify, okay, whatever the requirements, maybe your ID or Aadhaar number or whichever. I am not giving any hint also. Let me see. Okay, how many of you are properly design this particular table, because I am not giving any project details or something like that. But let us see uh, how many of you are going to establish the table with the stipulated number of the attributes with the corresponding constraints, maybe primary key, check, not null, and foreign key. However, I am giving some kind of the information related to the foreign key in the today's session, related to the referential integrity, which is a very pretty important topic, friends. Okay, so with this, just will start working on the other aspects. So maybe the very first important thing is the readability of the code, where your code must be very catchy, and it should be uh, known to the developer, not by the system. System, however, whatever the things you are giving, it is ultimately going to convert into zeros and ones only. That's okay. But at the moment, I am floating some kind of the coding in the team. Each and every team member should get the essence of that particular table. Not only table, friends, what we are doing and what is the flow and how we are creating the attributes, names of the attributes, all these kind of the things. Okay. So with these kind of aspects, okay. So just I am asking you guys, anything we can explicitly perform, like apart from these readability, if you feel any other kind of thing, we can uh, implement the code in a best way. So just use the chat window. And however, the first thing is readability. Second thing is giving meaningful names, and after that, Okay, we are talking about the format. And one more thing, friends, here one more task I want to assign. So this particular task two is um, so list out the tools used to perform format of the coding while using SQL and SQL by the industry. You may be surprised, friends. You may be surprised, but see how much important. Okay, how this important is gained. Okay, so because this particular uh, tool usage is there by the companies because they don't want to spend much time on understanding the code. Because again, after implementation of the code, the members try to get the knowledge transfer, and they are very much uh, uh, passionate also, but they are struggling to get what exactly the earlier developer does, all these kind of things. So as to avoid those kind of the conventions, there are certain tools, friends, actually. So just in the just I'll give you a break of 3 or 5 minutes in the meantime. Okay, however, the logical break kind of thing. So you can surf these kind of the tasks so that you can also get some time to work. Okay, whatever we are talking in the session, right? So the first task, however, I'm giving the time up to tomorrow. So tomorrow after launching the agenda and introduction, so just I will ask the members to share the screen and explain about what they have created. Okay. This is first thing. And second thing, however, as a best practices, we are seeing that readability, meaningful names, formatting of the appropriate code in a better way. And though the MySQL that Workbench is providing the formatting options, but still industry is making use of some kind of the tools so as to better format their projects which are backed by SQL and PLSQL kind of the notation. Okay. And moreover, friend, the fourth important thing, okay, meaningful naming of the tables and meaningful naming of the attributes is perfectly all right. But what I'm giving you is I want to convey some information to the members. Those things can be taken as a comment section, friends, actually. So the comment section, you might be aware of this. So um, Praveen is the author. Okay, author of this particular thing. Now what we are doing is slash star this project related to uh, import export of relational data to some file system, Hadoop distributed file system. See, these are multi comments. So if I want to perform some single liner, okay, especially in the PLSQL, maybe even in case of SQL kind of things also, let me show you that, friend. Some of the aspects I have prepared for you, where those kind of the conventions are very much helpful in the understanding of the readability and all these kind of aspects. Okay, so just you observe what I have tried is yeah, here I have prepared for you some kind of aggregate functions that we are going to talk in a while. So just where we have taken this particular thing up to this, okay, anyone can easily understand. Just we are creating some kind of the table and we are inserting some kind of the values regarding with the month and employee data, the name of that. Actually, this is also not the proper name. EMP means what? Whether that is ID or what exactly. So intentionally I have given, even I will be sharing this particular table name with you, and let us see how many of you are going to convert these particular names into the meaningful. And then department. it is of course meaningful thing. Maybe I can use department ID or department number, something like that, and salary. Okay, so once the data is available, and this is pretty easy up to creation of the table, description, and as well as the insertion. But whereas this is also we habituated, because the most commonly used statement in SQL and PLSQL is the select statement actually. So just we are applying some kind of the table information, and we are picking up some kind of the data and all. Now you see here, just we are performing some activity. So just to, if you give some simple knowledge about this thing, friends, because at the moment I am making use of the conventions, I can easily deploy that particular information. So anyone from the team can get that, oh, this guy is getting the count of total number of employees in that particular project, maybe who are working in a particular department, or and it is very important to understand the group by friends actually. So while executing these kind of the statements, just will see that what is the benefit of okay, that particular group by and all. Order by is pretty easy, which is used to sort in ascending or descending kind of thing. But we have to study the group by very much. Though you are having knowledge of the group by. So, but I will take your inputs also. If I feel okay, these guys are having some kind of knowledge on this topic, definitely I will ask some kind of the questions, so that you can also contribute in the learning process, right? So that is one thing. And whereas if suppose if I want to establish a multi-line comments, okay, there are certain aspects where I can take either I can follow up this kind of approach every time I can use a single liner comment, or else if I want to perform some kind of uh, multi-line comments. So what for we are using, and what is the kind of database we are using, or to tell the appropriate information to the other team members. Okay, so at the outset, friends, here you need to even small table or the bigger table, whatever, but ultimately you should be in a position to specify that particular information in a better way. So otherwise what happens is automatically your code will become some kind of chaos. Okay, so to avoid that particular convention, we need to observe. Okay, so how we are making sense or making use of the appropriate thing. And moreover, um, the clean code specifies that code that is focused and understandable. Your code must be readable and logical, and that can be changeable. Like at the moment you are talking about the changeable or updating the appropriate thing. The main important aspect is, friends, you should be in a position to explain the things in a best way. Okay, so that is what my intention is. And moreover, if you are referencing, okay, whatever the points or whatever the aspects we are implementing, those aspects should be uh, reflecting. Okay, so just like how we have taken the employee USA and UK data, all these kind of thing. And again, I have mentioned good code is not the one computer understand. It is the one human can understand. Because the coding is for the sake of implementation of the project. The coding is for the sake of the productivity. So starting from the first liner, okay, we should be very cautious how best we can leverage our code in terms of giving the names of the tables. Okay, because it is one-time activity, na? Creation of the databases, creation of the tables. It is a one-time activity. But on top of that table, on top of the database, you are performing lot more activities, maybe insertion, or might be that update, or some kind of the deletion. But all these kind of things are revolving around the database and as well as the table. So as we are making use of that particular information most frequently, it is very important to understand the activity of the database and table information along with the attributes. Now, while assigning the names, okay, or database SQL objects, always choose shorter or meaningful names. conveying specific information. Let me give you this example. So if you are referencing, so just if you refer these kind of the convention friends, let me share 1 minute. Let me share the OneNote. Yeah, so see here. So just I'm having some requirement friends here. So there is a some kind of the customer data related to some e-commerce website approached us to design some kind of the data. So in this particular thing, so just we have created the customer table and we are creating customer ID and customer name, customer purchase date, customer purchase product. Okay, so if you refer these things, friends, this is very short. Customer ID, customer name. Can someone suggest? Okay, just I am taking pause here, some 2 to 3 minutes. The context is very simple. One e-commerce platform approached us so as to automate their process, and we are having customer purchase information, and we want to create some table and we want to work out the information in a better way. In that is the context actually. That is the scenario. Now I have taken some two attribute names, customer purchase date and as well as the customer purchase product. Now, can someone suggest the better name compared with these longer names? Because always prefer readable, shorter, and meaningful. Okay, so there are certain constraints. It's not always simply giving some name. Your code must be readable, shorter, and meaningful. Okay, so I'll take a pause here, friends. Just I'll be waiting for your answers. Uh, with respect to this particular context, what could be the proper name instead of customer purchase date or customer purchase product? Though you feel simple question, valuable things are simple only. Okay, so just you have a look and give the answer. I'll wait. Very good. Oh, already got the that's what Sahu always. Okay, I don't know any other member is there to cross Sahu because today also before end of the session I have to announce the star performer of the day. Wasim Akram has come up with some kind of the naming convention. Once I receive all the things, 41 now, we'll see up to 43 because 2 minutes time, grace time I am giving. So just you try your best. So very good, guys. Just I got the floods of messages. Uh, okay, nice. Almost all members has given the answers. No problem. If you are not giving the answers, I will assign the task to you. Okay. Okay. So Sahu says as usual, purchase date, product, as this table is about customers only. We don't need to write customer with every attribute. Very good. Because see, that's what the understanding, friends. If you give the meaningful name for the table, automatically it span over to the attributes also. Okay, that is the first point. So I completely agree with Sahu, because if you are managing the table information in a proper way, automatically your attributes also in line with the table name. And but technically, I will go with the Wasim Akram, because usage of the underscore is most frequent in the database creation, friends, actually. Because some even in the projects, a customer underscore id, customer underscore name, something like that. So that is a general convention, friends, actually. So that may not be the standard, but all the developers, especially our SQL and PLSQL kind of the developers, they prefer to use that underscore, because it is nothing but because purchase is one thing and date is another thing. So as to establish a kind of the connection between those, logically that underscore is a valid symbol we can use in the creation of the tables. Though even in your engineering or graduation also, while submitting your while creating your lab, whatever the lab list or whatever the practical you are having, you may give SNO, S name, and total, average, okay, like that. But at the moment you ask to give some kind of additional names, student underscore name, stud underscore name, like that. So that is a general convention which we follow. So even Shahid also says purchase date and product sold is perfectly all right, because already we are talking about the whichever the product we have taken. So the product sold and purchase date is a perfect answer. And Vedant says CID, C name, and P underscore purchased, mean to say product purchased and product date. Provided something like, in the comment section or somewhere, again, we need to mention that P refers to the product or whatever the activity. So Janeshwar, very good, purchase date and purchase date and product. Sai 73 says, purchase date and product. What I asked here is, so customer purchase product. Okay. So maybe it is bit ambiguous, Sravanti. Rather than directly mentioning the product, you can think through maybe alternative, because product in the sense whether that is a product ID or product name, maybe it is ambiguous. So we need to be very cautious, especially dealing with the sales data, product data, employee data, department data, maybe because employee is having ID and name, department also having ID and name, product is also having ID and name, and sales date, sales target, average sales, like that. It is creating some questions. Okay, so at this moment only you habituate to implement the names in a proper way, right? Okay, that really helps you. Wasim again giving product underscore purchase, perfect. Srinidhi says purchase underscore date. Very good. Date of purchase or product name. Satish is onboarded. Okay. Purchase date. Yeah. Harish. Always why I like Harish narration is this is very precise. Perfect means okay. The question asked two questions. Dr. Uma asked. Okay. First one. So just is a simple. This is called readability actually. So one, customer purchase data, which is order date, very good, and some kind of engineered variable, that is. Okay, why I am saying the engineered feature or engineered variable is actually that data is not there in the SR document, system requirement document, but we are framing those particular names in a proper way. So customer purchase data can be taken as order date. See how simple it is. And product purchase name is the product name. Simply just okay. So Srinidhi again come up with some other analogy, purchase of the product, and Praveen says so some other different name, customer purchase date and product name, but explicitly we need to comment product name is okay, but customer purchase date is bit ambiguous, especially the middle part. So cust date is understandable, Praveen, but this PURCH is something like leading to another thing. And Karthikeyan says customer ID, customer name, purchase date, product name. Okay, all good, but again Sahu and Akram and Shahid and one more is Harish. Okay, these guys really done good, and almost all questions I got only except Sravanti, because it is leading to some kind of ambiguous. So just I suggested that thing. Okay, so with this, just we can have the discussion of other things like when assigning names to variables or SQL objects, always choose shorter, meaningful names and conveying specific information. Because why we are focusing on this much is 80% of your code is containing the table name and as well as the attribute information. Okay, let me prove that. Because at the moment I am talking about some kind of the implementation, especially if you see this particular workbench. Okay, see friends, here we are having this kind of data with us, employee data. And while performing any creation, okay, or while selecting anything, see here loading departments, or else if I am taking some other example. So especially if you take let me take this one. Yeah. So there are certain aspects where I can specify some of the conventions. Okay, just I am selecting and table name and as used space. Okay, I'll talk about this thing, friend. Don't worry, I'll talk about this one because this is the example where you can observe the optimizations, whether I can go with the optimizations or not. Okay, so within this, what we are trying to say is majority of our implementations, maybe the DML operations. Most of the times we'll use the DML operations. Those DML operations, 80% consists of the table names and as well as the attribute names. So everyone is having the same group by, order by, select statement, all not in, like wildcard characters, all those are same for everyone. But only the thing is to prove or to maintain the standards of the corresponding coding, definitely you have to make use of the proper naming conventions and readability of the corresponding information. All these kinds of things are required. So that is a major important thing. Okay. So with this, okay, we have done with the appropriate coding kind of the conventions. Now, one of the important point I want to refer here is um, the referential integrity, friends, actually. So because the main important aspect to establish a kind of the relationship between the variables is the referential integrity. I need your utmost attention here. So maybe I am asking you before starting the actual topic on referential integrity. Okay, so you may give the answers. Just I will take up the chart after the completion of the session. But you give the answers like yesterday's session we have seen the concept of the primary key, and second one I am asking you to give the what exactly you feel about the foreign key. Okay, you try to give these kind of the narrations, primary key and as well as the foreign key. Now let me give you some kind of the coding logic. So here the coding is very simple. What I am doing is just I am taking some kind of the customer data. So where I am having customer ID, customer name, purchase date, address, and there is some other table called product information. I'm having the product ID here. I'm having customer ID here, product name, price. Okay, so these two are the tables existing. So now if I'm writing a statement like this, uh, foreign key of customer ID, uh, references, uh, customer of ID. So this statement I am making. Now, this is the technical thing, and of course, everybody can easily establish a primary key and foreign key between the two tables. That we pretty know, friends. But I'm trying to understand some of the aspects. Let me give a try. How many of you are aware of this referential integrity? Uh, what do you mean by master table? What is the detail table? So this master table sometimes called as the parent table, and this detail table is also known as child table. This is one thing I need to get from you. And just to give a try, no problem. It's not a mandatory thing, but just out of understanding your what exactly you know. Okay, just I am asking these things one by one. However, I am going to give the answers. Second important thing is the table which is having primary key. We need to discuss how about insertion and what about the deletion of the record. Okay, this is the third thing. And the fourth one is the table which is having foreign key. So what about the insertion and what about the deletion? These are all the questions, friends. Okay. And as a part of this particular thing, just we have taken the scenario of customer table and as well as the purchase table. And we pretty know that, okay, so how these particular things can be established. Maybe you can create the column level primary key, just customer ID primary key like that you can give, or else after declaring all the customer ID, customer name, product information, finally at the table level also you can specify primary key of customer ID. Hope you're all knowing about that from your earlier trainings. Okay. Now, if you are not knowing, please let me know, friends, so that those aspects also. Always, this is the open training, friends. You should not feel that oh, I don't know group by, but this guy is talking about um, group by and having, and oh, even I don't know the aggregate functions. This guy is talking about count and maximum. Don't feel, friend. That's what I said. So your efficiency is not to know everything. Your efficiency is to confidently implement the known thing. Okay, there is a differentiation actually. No one in the earth is knowing all the things. Okay, so don't hesitate to ask the doubts or to explain some of the aspects which are not very clear to you. That's perfectly all right, no problem, because you are in the learning mode actually. So learning mode should give you the confidence, not the more confusion. Okay, that's what we are going slowly, and that too I am taking one simple topic and one advanced topic like that. I am managing. If you observe, I am not going in an aggressive way. Okay, just I am slowly injecting the topics. Maybe at the end of the day, if you are giving which are all the things this guy has discussed, these things should flash like some animation. Okay. Oh, initially he started the discussion on better coding or best coding. Yes, readability, comment section, meaningful names, short names. Okay, so like that, it should flash into your mind. And he has asked us to create a table to cover all our information, maybe in a better way. And second task he has given is okay. So like some of the tools are there which are used by the industry so as to maintain the appropriate formatting of the corresponding implementation. So because coding, if I am talking friends, so coding is should come from heart. And if you are a good coding or if you are a good developer, definitely that code should reach to maximum members. Okay, maybe especially if I'm talking about the SQL and PLSQL kind of the orientation, just by seeing that code, we can easily say that how professional and how standard the coding is. Because it is very pretty simple to see the code done by Harish or Praveen or Sravanti, whoever. But in the context, in the purview of me, that code should convey, that code should talk to me. Okay, if there is no meaningful names or if there is no proper naming convention, we won't feel that connect actually. So like that, you need to analyze the summary of the things, or else one small technique, however you are going, I don't know whether you will be getting the recordings or not. Just one simple thing is maybe at some point in time you want to revise the aspects, just how we are listening to FM or how we are listening to our favorite music in Amazon. So just you open that video and you can go through the appropriate topic. Okay, this is also one simple technique so as to repeat and revise. Such a 6 hours session again, going back and revision is a tedious thing. But some of the portions maybe you want to revise or you want to get one more time. So just you can have that particular functionality. Okay, with this, just let us start and discuss with the referential integrity. So basically, friends, here we are having the customer data. Okay, with ID, name, okay, some kind of address or something like that. Don't worry about the attributes. Now within the products information, we are having the product ID. Again, specifically, I'm having the customer ID here and some kind of the product name, something like that we are having. Now, the very first point, very first question we have taken is what is the name of the primary key table? Okay, so this customer ID, of course, it is primary key. This is also primary key, product ID, and but this is the foreign key. Okay, customer ID from the products is the foreign key. Now, the table which is containing the primary key is a master table. Okay, this is also known as the parent table. Answer to the first question. Answer to the second question is whatever the table which is containing the foreign key is the detail table, or else I would say this is the child table. Okay, so master table in your team also, if someone is saying about the master table, if someone is talking about the detail table, if someone is saying this is the parent table, if someone is saying this is the child table, okay, you should be in a position to observe that, oh, this guy is talking about the primary key table. Okay, that means I have to take, because maybe at times, we are having some 10 or 15 tables in a project, and almost all tables are having the primary keys and foreign keys, at least 50% of the tables. In that particular case, there is always a chaos how we are making use of these conventions. So it is very particular to the implementation perspective, friends. Like so whatever the implementation related to the primary key, whatever the implementation related to the foreign key, and it all depends on what exactly we are looking from that particular query and what is the outcome we are expecting. So based on that particular convention, we have to observe. Okay, that also I'll give some kind of a simple task, okay, so that you can revise those things. And if you want me to explain those things, definitely I'll take some example and I will explain. Okay, don't worry about that. Now, the third important point is, okay, we confirmed that this customer is the master table and products is the child table or detail table. Now, the point is, suppose the primary key data, whatever I am having in the master, okay, master table, obviously, this customer ID, I am having the primary key. What about the insertion? How do I insert? See, uh, as far as you refer the information of this customer ID, name of the customer, address. So you can add the new customers without any hassle. Okay, so just I am adding some kind of the customer information. So address, however, I am giving, and later point of time, just I am adding one more guy, address 4. Address 5. I can add up like that. There is no absolutely no problem with adding. This is the case of the master. Okay, but while talking about the detail table, what about the insertion? Because here customer ID is the foreign key, and I'm having the table information like the product ID, customer ID, product name, assume that. Now with this, just if you are having the information like this, the very first point you have to observe is if I want to insert any customer information in the detail, that should referred by the ID of the primary key. What I mean to say is if I want to insert new data in the detail, okay, new data in the detail, that should be present in the master. This is the basis, friends, actually, because always, though the members are very um, confident enough to create the primary keys and foreign keys, but the real understanding of the referential integrity, we always focus on primary key, foreign key creation, but we miss out um, the understanding of the referential integrity, because all understanding is revolving around the insertion and deletion process only. Okay, so now suppose if I am saying, so however product ID I am taking as product 1, product 2, product 3, maybe same customer would have purchased the products like 1 to 1. Product 1 purchased by customer 1, product 2 customer 2, product 3 again 1. Name, maybe I can say some laptop, maybe some kind of the desktop, or else some kind of textbook, MySQL, ORL, complete reference, something like that. Okay, so here if I'm inserting this particular record, friends, so see here product ID. Actually, how many customers I'm having? 5. So product ID 10, customer ID also I'm giving as 6, and product name I am trying to give as some kind of the Spark definite guide. Assume that. Okay, this certainly raise an error actually. Okay, why, friends, error? Simple. The reference itself making sure that whatever the record I want to insert into the customer ID, that should be present in the ID of the customer in the master table, because as the name implies, referential integrity. Always we talk about the integrity of the nation. Integrity means if I am saying something, if I am talking something, if I am doing something, it should not disturb the other members. Okay, so it should, though you're having freeness in the speech, you're having that thing, but you should not hurt any other. Okay, that is a bare minimum responsibility as a human being. Similarly, if you analyze the same kind of the point, integrity in the sense, if I'm doing some activity in the database machine or database system, it should reflect in a better way in all the places. Okay, maybe trying to create the table or insert something or delete something or update something, there should be some consistency, and integrity of the database should be preserved. Always it should behave in the similar way, in the same way. Maybe I'm giving you training on advanced SQL, whereas sometimes after few more days, I may get into the Spark training to give Harish or Praveen, Wasim. Okay, they may be part of the data engineering team. Then I can talk about Spark. The same member, but while teaching advanced SQL, he should talk on normalizations, referential integrity, all these things. But whereas in case of the Spark discussion, I am having the RDDs, data frames, Spark SQL, that is. So though I am the same member, according to the requirement, I have to manage. That is what you call the consistency and integrity. Okay. So with this, just you can observe one point. If I want to insert any record, okay, related to the master, I can directly insert. No problem about that because this is the master table. But whereas there is a important link, whereas if I want to insert something on the detail table, okay, so definitely that should be already captured by the master table. Only master table content, master table key, whatever I am having, those particular keys should be reflected in the child table. Okay, so as a kind of the summary point, okay, so while inserting the data into the detail table, okay, that should be uh, referenced in master table. I'm indirectly saying, friends. Indirectly in the sense, I'm not saying that okay, already the data is there and that data only should be inserted in the child table. No, I'm not using that terminology, but the proper utilization of this thing is like this. While inserting the data into the detail table, that should be referenced in the master table. I mean, master table, whatever I'm having, whatever I'm getting from the master table, only those details can be observed in the child table also. But one more convention, friends, here. So the third question I asked, what about the deletion in the master, and what about the deletion in the child? Okay, so if you are considering the master deletion, observe here. Suppose if I want to delete customer ID 1 from the master, but in the child, okay, this is the master customer ID, and in the child there are corresponding records. Okay, two records are referenced by the customer from the master. So in general, friends, direct deletion is simple only. Na? Suppose, see, if you want to get the clearance from your college, you need to submit all your library cards. You need to clear all your lab dues. You need to clear all your examination fees and all the dues. See, because the dependency is there. Suppose if Suresh want to come out from the college or department, definitely he has to clear all the dues, if any. So similarly, if I want to delete any data from the master, direct deletion of the data in the master. Okay, so first the referential integrity checks in the child. Okay, checks in the child. If any dependent records are there. Okay, if any dependent records are there. What is the solution, friends? Yes, of course. Then first we need to delete the child data. Then only we can delete in master. Okay, simple logic, friends. Okay, just to remember or recollect your feed you collection in the college. If you want to get the provisional certificate, so definitely office will give you some node due, and after getting the signs from all the departments or the corresponding heads or whichever, then only the office will give you the provisional certificate. Similarly, while establishing the master detail kind of the relation, and if you want to delete any record from the master, first the referential integrity should check that is there any dependent records in the detail table. Okay, if any detailed uh, connectivity is there, dependency is there, which is referenced by the master, I mean, which is referenced by the detail in the master, first we have to delete that detail thing, then only we can go with the deletion in the master. There is one more class, friends. Actually, I'll give you this.
Hello,
Yeah, who is that?
Wasim sir.
Wasim, tell me.
Sir, if there is a multiple tables and related to the master table,
Ah,
so it is mandatory to delete all reference tables.
yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm about to complete that particular thing. So just give me a minute. So if still you are having doubt, then we'll come to that, right, Wasim? Okay. So the other thing is, friends, on delete cascade. Okay, what do you mean by on delete cascade is exactly what our friend asked, because there are 1,000 records or 2,000 records in the reference table, and every time I am keep on going to that record and that table, and I am sitting on top of that detailed table, and I am deleting, which is that disturbance and which is time consuming, because however we decide to delete the master records, and whether those particular things are there in the detailed records, at times, definitely primary key should be given the highest priority. Maybe dependents are there, okay, but still once you decide to eradicate these kind of the records, then it should be done. But here the important point is, just we are talking about the optimizations na, in every topic. Just I will try to embed these kind of the optimizations. One of such kind of the optimization while establishing master child kind of the relationship is on delete cascade. As our friend rightly asked, so I'm having table 1 here, and maybe table 2, table 3, like that we are having. Okay, so to delete this particular table 1 data, maybe I should go to multiple tables and individually I need to delete, which is a time consuming. Okay, which is time consuming. So as to avoid that particular convention, we are having the concept called on delete cascade. On delete cascade. What it does is, so on delete cascade, okay, on delete cascade automatically, okay, deletes the reference table records. Okay, automatically delete the reference table records while deleting the corresponding master record. See, friends, how good it is. Okay, but we should be very cautious. Like, roughly, if I am having a particular data, and within the tables, I'm having some 1 lakh or 2 lakh reference record. At times, sometimes, if you see the purchases of the Amazon, maybe from 2022, 2022, if Amazon want to refer your records, maybe Wasim would have purchased laptop or Spark Definite Guide or MySQL complete reference like that. His basket is having some kind of the products, but due to the management of the space and as well as the kind of things, they want to delete these kind of the informations. Okay, like Wasim don't want to purchase the products from the Amazon and he want to completely erase his account. Maybe in case of Ola rides also, if you see in Uber rides also, just your rides, there is one column called your rides. Okay, so just they are providing all your ride information. Okay, ride one, ride two, like that. But once that particular app is burdened with much data, because we are not the one who are using that globally, that Uber is famous. So in that particular case, friends, they usually maintain the data. That's what the concept of this cloud has come into the picture, if you observe, because many apps are there, many applications are there, but within that application, management of the data is very tough. Okay, tough in the sense, if I'm heavily managed the data with the app, to pick up the data, to process the data, it take much time. And one more thing, according to the Microsoft research, okay, so just the whatever the recordings now, I'm recording this particular session, and their observation is up to 90 days. Okay, even 90th day also, only 12 percentage of the members are using that recording, and after 120 days it becomes only 2%. Only out of 100, only two members are referring to this particular data after 120 days. So what they have done, even they put that particular expiry date. If you observe the some kind of the procedure in the Microsoft recordings and all, they by default after 120 days they will be deleted from our chat actually. But you may ask me this question. So what is the procedure to reach out to your recordings after 120th day? Then simple, we are having OneNote na. So this particular OneNote, which is having a special drive for us, from that you can pick up. It doesn't mean that from the application I am deleting the data, in the sense somewhere it is going to store and manage that thing. And even I will do one thing, friends. There is a excellent concept called backup and recovery. This is one thing I'll give you as a seminar, which is very, very important. And a locking mechanism from the advanced SQL. And thereafter, friends, most importantly, the serializability. Okay, so these three aspects, just after taking some kind of 3 or 4 sessions, I'll launch. I'll give you these tasks so that you can be equipped with some kind of the narration. Okay, I will give you the glance of these things so that I can give. Coming back to our discussion, so because as we are working with heavy data and huge number of the records, sometimes it is always preferable to handle the data management in the perfect way. So if while especially while I'm using the referential integrity kind of thing, the concept is pretty simple. The master table is containing the primary key. The detailed data is containing the foreign key. And in that particular case, according to our discussion, while deleting, especially our topic is, if I want to delete the records from the master table, whether I can delete the master table directly without deleting the records from the child table. If you are not using on delete cascade, definitely SQL opposes, friends. SQL opposes. Opposition is like this. So there are some referential records. There are some dependent records on customer ID 1, customer ID 2, or customer ID 3. So I cannot delete directly the appropriate records from the master table. So what I need to do, the solution is simple. You have to manually verify the tables which are related to our master table. And there are certain things like, whatever the records I want to delete from the master, maybe customer ID 1 or customer ID 3. Accordingly, you can devise your query. So automatically you can delete the appropriate records from the child table. Then only you can come and delete the data from the master table. That is for sure. For that, what they have done is there are many implications for this. Again, you have to verify which are all the table containing the reference of our master, and you should go to that and delete manually all those particular records. Again, you have to come back to our master table, and then only you need to delete the corresponding records. Then what is the solution for this? The solution is this thing, on delete cascade. Okay, so on delete cascade is something like, okay, so if I want to achieve, if I want to delete something related to my master table deletion, I can directly delete the details from the, I can directly delete the records from the master. As I am making use of the on delete cascade, automatically whatever the reference records I am having from the child table, they will be deleted. You need not manually go and delete those kind of the records. But we should be very cautious uh, because on delete cascade causing deletion in a bigger way. Okay, so make sure that though I am deleting the child records which are referenced by this master table, I am absolutely fine for that. Then only you can make use of this particular on delete cascade. Otherwise, guys, it always creates some kind of disturbance. Okay, disturbance in the sense we may lose the records and we may end up with some kind of unavailability of the data. So we should be very cautious. That's what I'm saying. At the time of creation of the table itself, we should be very cautious how we are making use of this data and in what way we are going to reference this data by other tables. And if I'm deleting my master data, then how do I compensate that particular deletion in the detailed data? So, but one thing, okay, after the discussion happens in your team, okay, you decided that, okay, we'll go with the on delete cascade, then no problem. So though you are deleting unnecessary information from your master, you need not worry about the detail because on delete cascade will take care about deletion of the child records. Okay, so that is one thing you have to observe. Hope Vasi, my answered your question. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now, friends, any other questions we're having? I'll pause here because though it is looking simple, because there are many implications. And one more thing, let me finish the deletion of the detailed. Okay, because we have done the deletion of the master actually here. Now the other thing is deletion of the child. So deletion of the child is very simple. No need to wait for any approval. You can directly delete the child records. You can directly delete the child records. Now, what I am doing here, guys, let me give you one more task here. Is a common task. Okay, so task 3, create and tables the suitable attributes and establish master detail relationship by creating primary key on customer table and foreign key on what is the other table, friends, I have given product. table. So this is the initial thing. Use now first task is however creation of the table, creation of these two tables. And so once this is over, okay, what you can do is try to insert records to customer and product. This is one thing. Uh, try to insert the records into product uh, which are not there in the customer, okay, which are not there in the customer, and mention your observation. Mention your observation. Next one, try to delete the records, the master table, provided those are there in detail also. These are there in detail also. Uh, mention your observations. Okay, mention your observations. Next one, friends, try to delete the what's in the detail so that we can cover everything. Detail table. Okay. Finally, apply delete cascade and mention your observations. Don't initially use the undelete cascade. Okay, so mention your observations. So just you can try it out. Okay, we'll stop with this particular task because already I have given two tasks. This is the third one actually. So where I'll be posting this thing in the Slack channel. Okay, so that you can maybe you can take some time, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So Thursday, okay, Thursday in the interactive session, I'll ask. This is the task for common for all. I may randomly pick the person, and of course, how we are following is up to some sessions. I'll pick persons and I will give the tasks. Of course, tomorrow also we'll follow the same convention. But from day after tomorrow, what I will do is I'll give the tasks. Okay, 2 days before, and you try to implement those particular tasks. However, in the interactive session, what I will do is I will pick a person, and that person should explain this particular task. Okay, so this is how we do. So it is a time for break, I know. So just let me pull the summary of the appropriate thing. So far what we have discussed, the very first point is we have discussed the uh, coding wise best practices. So within this, what we have done is uh, the very first thing is coding should be readable, and second important thing is it should be simple, uh, simple and meaningful. Third one, friends, comments. Suppose if I want to explain some kind of um, okay, what exactly I'm using all these kind of things, and thereafter, so thereafter formatting actually, how we are formatting the appropriate thing. This first topic we have seen, however, and coming to the next one, The second one we have seen is introduction to referential integrity. So within this referential integrity, we have come across with what exactly the master table, the table which contains the primary key, and what do you mean by this detail table? So which is the one containing the foreign key. And then the other thing we have discussed in master, what is the context of the insert and delete. There we have seen we cannot directly delete the records provided if the corresponding records are referenced by the detail table. But insertions can be done, okay, because that is the primary key, you can do the insertion. But whereas in case of the detail table, how about the insert? Insert we cannot do directly because it has to refer by the primary key of the table, and deletion can be done however simply because that in the detail table you can freely delete the data. But one more important point we have seen, that is the on delete cascade. So this particular on delete cascade is something like which is helping us to notify. Okay, so automatic deletion in the whatever the data we are working. So just maybe I'm having multiple tables which are referenced by this particular primary key. Every time if I need to go and verify those kind of the conventions, it is causing some kind of the disturbance. So as to avoid that particular convention, we are having the on delete cascade kind of the discussion. Okay. Next thing is I will introduce you some kind of the aggregate because most commonly used and most favorite construct in our SQL part is aggregate functions. Why I am referring this thing as a third aspect is, friends, while talking about the aggregation and all, even in the usage of the stored functions and procedures, the most commonly used construct is aggregate functions. Okay, we'll see some kind of the count. Okay, and thereafter we are having max, and we are also having some kind of the summation uh, and minimum. Okay, like that, many are there. Let me see how we can go. And in addition to that, we'll see the usage of the group by uh, clause also. Okay, so which is definitely not complex. Okay, which is very simple. And once this is over, based on the time, I'll talk about optimizations in the table space. Okay, so this is the another important thing to be considered by the developer because maybe there are certain kind of the restrictions for our team. So we need to use the appropriate aspects in such a way that the burden on the cloud should be reduced. So in that particular case, there are certain aspects where I can make use so as to perform the logic in a better way. Okay, so as to utilize this particular space in a better way. So with this, I'm stopping here, friends. Now it is 11:36. So by yeah 37. 4750. Okay, by 52. Okay, so or else you by 53 will be assembled here. Okay, take your time. So don't worry. So today topic's little heavy, friends, when compared with earlier, because to reach the level of our stored procedures and functions, I have to make the ground very strong because I'm going very slowly, but still many things has to cover, so that today I'm going to introduce these optimizations and actually one more important thing maybe I can say today afternoon if I could do that transaction management and as well as the normalizations. Okay, those things are also there. So let us see how we can no hurry, nothing. So only the thing is your understanding is most important criteria for me. Okay. So that's all, guys. By 11:53, we'll assemble back.